Welcome to my channel as always everyone. My name is Mr. Certified High, and this is another speed build and another shipping container build. So a lot of anothers going on right now. This is sort of a two-half video, all in the same video, but this first half you're going to see me make the shell of the house and then furnish it as to be a starter home. And then you probably may not notice the transition, but because I don't really do one, I just kind of upload, I basically save where I'm at of the house and then upload it to the gallery as a starter home. So under 20, I think it's like 19 something. And then I continue on to make it continue on furnishing the house with basically unlimited funds to kind of make it how I kind of would do it if you were to do it. And I also upload that to the gallery. It's already on the gallery right now. I think that ends up being about 60,000 simoleons. But that's kind of the two halves of the video. So and the screenshots at the end of the video will come from the final build of the video, essentially. The final build of the house. That's where the screenshots will come. So originally I thought, oh, it'd be so cool to have orange shipping containers. Orange is my favorite color. I'm a weirdo, I know. So I really wanted, orange shipping containers. You see right there, we changed it to white shipping containers, which I think just looked better. I thought orange shipping containers look more shipping container, more shipping containing. I don't know. They look more like shipping containers. I feel like, it's not uncommon to see an orange shipping container, but how often do you see a white shipping container? That's how many times can I say shipping container in one video? We're going to see. And then we have this little extension, which in my personal opinion, just my opinion, but for me personally, I feel like shipping container houses need some sort of add-on. They cannot just be as shipping containers. I've seen that's not a hard and fast rule, I'll say it, because I have seen quite a few people on the gallery post their shipping container builds, and they're literally just shipping containers and they look amazing. But for some reason, when I build just shipping containers, they don't look amazing. Like this build originally was supposed to be just these 3 shipping containers. And then I almost immediately saw that, oh, that looks pretty bad. And I'm definitely going to need to add on something to make it look, I don't know, less like a shipping containers. I guess it kind of depends on the vibe you're going for. If you want your house to literally be shipping containers, then that's probably what you need to do. But for me, I wanted them to be, you see the way I guess I will, let's explain the way I like my shipping container builds are with some resemblance of a shipping container there. Yes, so you have some of those walls kind of being created to be the actual shipping container. But for the most part, I want it to look like it is an actual renovated shipping container build. And so here we are, I guess, putting it back to white. I was messing around with foundations. I had a lot of trouble with foundations. I think it was because I was playing Sims too long. I don't know, or my computer's been on too long. Like, I still haven't turned my computer off, and it's been a couple days now, which is not good for it, definitely. But I've been having a lot of problems in the Sims, especially with this build. You'll see in a second that, like, it glitches out underneath the foundation and kind of does this weird thing where you can see like blues under it. Not like, it's not even like normally you can see under the foundation, yes, but this is like you don't see like the terrain under the foundation. It's just an empty blue space. It's very glitchy. You'll see, I don't know if it's already happened. If it hasn't, you may see that in a second, but if it already happened, you definitely saw it because I know it's in the video. It was when I was having the foundation sit up too high, and it's because I'm using the, like, not this foundation, but the ones that look like fence posts. I don't know what you call that foundation. I guess it's more of an open underneath foundation. There's nothing underneath the foundation. Really, it's hardly foundation. It's just kind of, you'll see it in a second. You'll understand what I don't know what I'm trying to say. I mean, I know what I'm trying to say. I just don't know how to say it for some reason, which happens a lot with me. But you will see it in a second here. The weirdness of the foundation that's going to happen. Came with Island Living, I think, if that helps. It's going to come. It's going to come. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on how to explain this foundation. Yeah, so anyways, we're just kind of putting some windows in it. I wanted this to be very, or feel very open, which I do think I do a pretty good job of that, especially in the sunroom, which is not really a sunroom, it's the living room, but it's just a very open, you know, a lot of window to living rooms. So it definitely has a lot of modern aspects, like I think a shipping container house should, because, I mean, first off, how old are shipping containers? Can't really call a shipping container a traditional thing. And then secondly, I'm sure it's a much newer tradition to actually turn a shipping container into like a nice looking function. Oh, you can see it right there on the left. The bottom left of that foundation, you saw it is like blue. I have no idea why. If you know why I'm getting that glitch, or you also get that glitch, let me know. But yeah, also the roofs were changing right now because I wanted sunroofs, but I didn't. Obviously with that, having that roof, you can see that the room came in, so I couldn't have it all sunroofs. But we do in my I have the sunroom / living room. And then I was struggling with, I don't know, truthfully, I liked all that room being glass, but I just didn't like how it looked when the glass roofs intersected. And then I kind of felt like I wanted, for the most part, you to still kind of feel that, yes, this was at one time a bunch of shipping containers just probably welded together to make a house. And then we kind of go with a white and black theme around. So I was trying to, I have a lot of competing interests in my head that were, when I was building this, that I was trying to like satisfy. Truthfully, if I could add more to it, I'd probably add a second level. I think I tried before I started recording, because what I do is I kind of play around before I record a speed build with some ideas I have. So I kind of, you know, draw it out and design it out, just the shell of them, of the builds. And then I build it, kind of recording it, and then I furnish it, and all that's kind of new. But for the most part, like the shell of it, I try to do before I build, just to see kind of what I'm liking, what I'm vibing with at that time. And so I did try to put a second floor in this, a second shipping container, basically, or I guess a fourth shipping container, I should say, that sat on top, the one on the the right one now, but the bedroom one, the bedroom shipping container. It just didn't end up looking that good. If I was going to do it again, I might add, truthfully, looking back on it, and I've seen some other shipping container builds and some other real world shipping container houses that I've been kind of looking up since this recording, I might just make that an extension. I might, that would be another thing you could do. And I'm trying to think, I do want to play with my Let's Go Green LP. I want her to move into this house. I think she might even do that relatively here soon, because she's already ready to move out of that neighborhood. She turned it all the way green. Well, actually, she hasn't done that yet. So once she does that, and then we'll move to this house. But I also think it fits her vibe, and she should have enough money to move into a starter house, I believe, at this point. I don't know, but I think she should have enough money. So we might move into the starter version and then kind of upgrade that as we go. And then you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But my thought would be like the sunroom, kind of make it a wood extension above there, and having that be the second floor. I think that could be a cool thing as well. I don't know yet what we'll do with it. Obviously, we'll kind of see that when it comes. But this is, like I said, this first little section is actually almost coming to an end. Like I said, it's gonna be a tough transition. You won't really see it, but we just put enough furniture to fit things, right? So the way I imagined, I don't imagine anyone specifically living in this house. Like I do with some builds, I imagine specific sims that I want to move into this house. I didn't do that with this one. I just imagined this being a house that you would move into, one as a starter, but maybe not even like your first starter. Like this might be your, like you're doing rags to riches. You don't want to build your own house, or you want to move into a real house, but you don't want to kind of, you know, upgrade it all the way. Your house, you have like a box right now, and you have just enough money to move into a starter home, and this would be what you download. That's kind of what my thought was, I guess. So I guess in some ways I am building it for Layla Organic, my Let's Go Green Rags to Riches sim. In some ways maybe I am building it for her, but like she really was not in my mind, I guess. But the play style of that type of Let's Play was in my mind when I was building this. And so that was the thought. Like I want it to be very upgradable, have a lot of things that you can kind of add on to it. And then I wanted it to be very, you know, you can move in if you already have a computer, you already have a laptop or whatever, maybe your sim, and you're not going to sell that when you move. Well, there's already a desk, but there's no computer there. Just like there's already a, you know, a TV stand, but no TV. So I do that quite a bit. And then there's also a backyard, which is for the starter home is the only green space. But when you'll see it in the second half of the video, when we go to kind of the unlimited funds, which really it's only 60 grand. So it's still not that much money of a house. And it's only a 1-bedroom anyways. You'll see that the 60 grand version, or the, I don't know what you call it, maybe upgraded version of the home, does have 2 more landscaped areas up front, just to make it look a little bit better on the gallery is kind of the intention. This is pretty much it for the starter home. We kind of mess around with the roofs a little bit, and then funnily enough, when we actually changed them back to the way they were. So that's the starter home, and now we're kind of into the more of the furnishing style of the home, putting things, I felt like greenery and plants, obviously it's eco lifestyle, it just makes sense. And I'm really trying to get into the habit of using more greenery, which I think I've done pretty well in eco lifestyle. In past builds, I have not done so well of doing that type of thing, but eco lifestyle has really brought out like the green fiend in me and kind of the plant guy. I don't own any plants, although I have, actually that's not true. I have 1 plant on my desk at work. A coworker gave it to me. She's very thoughtful. She gave me a plant. She gave me, hey, you want a plant? I don't know if that was like her way of saying, hey, your desk is really boring, you probably should put something on it. But I got a plant. Hopefully I keep it alive. I don't even know. I hope they keep it alive. I don't know if I will. What do you have to do? Water a plant? That's it? I mean, I have a cat. Like if I can keep a cat alive, I should be able to keep a plant alive is the idea, but you never know. I guess we'll find out. Anyways, we were doing 2 little, what do you call them? I don't even know. I guess they're almost artwork really in a way when they're like landscaping in itself is almost an artwork, in my opinion, at least, especially when it's super thought out. Like if you just put landscaping in, like to make it look full, that's different. You know, just putting a bunch of trees in random places, that could be an artwork of its own. I'm not saying it's not, but like to me, like thought out landscaping, I don't want to say like this because this isn't what I'm talking about, like, but you know, other people's landscaping like this is like a form of art. They're so nice, and I really want to get to the level where mine's nice. Truthfully, the one I'm working on now, I actually really like, so it is kind of on that level. It's not like up to pro tier, but it is good. I do like it. It's one of my favorite landscaping that I've done, and also some landscaping that I'm doing in my stream house, which I actually probably will upload the furnishing of because I don't want to stream it anymore. I'm kind of done with that house anyways. And when I stream it, I'm like, I have like Sims block on my house, on that house when I'm streaming it for some reason. I'll start streaming and then I'm like, oh, I have no idea what I want to do with this house. I don't really know what I want to do. And since I'm streaming, I can't really like look up design ideas. I mean, I guess I could, but I just don't tend to do that. So that's why I'll probably end up recording the rest of the furnishing of the house, and just a short, like kind of maybe real life or real time video, and then start streaming something else again, or another build, who knows, but we'll figure that out later on. Anyways, this landscaping area I really like, and I'm actually super proud of, although I do think that bush I just put down does not match. It matches color wise. I think I actually sized it down a little too much, and I don't believe I changed it. I don't know if I did post video or not, so if you check it out, and when you download that build, you'll see. And then we kind of cut out that second build, or that second our landscaping area, which you'll see in a second. We do go back to, I end up removing everything of that landscaping area to make it much better. It's still not as good as the first one I did, but it's a lot better than what it is now, if you got a little glimpse of it, or you get a little glimpse of it throughout the video like you did right there. And then I pretty much just absolutely delete the kitchen. I think in the starter home version, it was my least favorite part of the home was the kitchen. I thought it looked awful. I think it was because of the black, well, I know it was because of the black cabinets. Those the cheapest cabinets have terrible swatches, and there just wasn't one that I ended up liking, so I really just chose black, like kind of, you know, the least bad of all the worst options I could have done. Maybe if I was a little smarter with how I built starter homes, then I could have used better cabinets, which is also a thought that has definitely crossed my mind. But truthfully, like the cabinets I wanted for this home were these cabinets, or actually it was not these cabinets, but it was the Jungle Adventure cabinets. And I do think, yeah, we do change up to the Jungle Adventure cabinets right now, and we just make those bricks behind it black. So still kind of having that black theme in the kitchen, but with these Jungle Adventure cabinets, which I think the Jungle Adventure cabinets are still my favorite cabinets. I like the Island Living cabinets. I just don't find a lot of builds to use them in for some reason. I don't know if it's just me or what's going on with it, but for some reason I just can't really find a lot of good builds or good places to use the Island Living cabinets in most of the builds. And then I really enjoy this green, this light green color of this house, of that room, I mean. And then it looks really good because it also matches kind of the bed. I wish I was like one of those people that, first off, enjoyed color. That's not true. Let me take that back. I enjoy color. I just am terrible when it comes to using it, especially in real life. Like in all the homes I've ever lived in, like whether it be on my own or with my parents, from being any aged, I was never like the person to paint a room. Well, I remember we went to Lowe's or like Home Depot or whatever it was, whatever you want to say. We went to the hardware store once with the idea that, like, when I was younger, the idea that, hey, we're gonna, like, you guys can paint your rooms to be kind of how you want it. We're gonna help you out, but like, what colors you guys want? Do you want to do? And I really didn't care. Like, I was like, at that time, I think also when you're younger, I think it just is the certain type of person, I guess. Truthfully, at that time, we were living in a super old house that was painted, and the room I was living in was painted, like, had like old flowery wallpaper. I hated the wallpaper, but I was like, I don't really want to go through the hassle of changing the room. You know, I was like, I don't want to have to take everything out and then put it all back in and paint. It seems like a lot of work to paint the room. I don't really want to do that. So I guess I was just lazy as a kid. I don't know if that's what that means. You know, because I did hate the wallpaper. I absolutely despised it. It had like rose wallpaper, I remember. But for some reason, I just didn't want to paint the walls. I didn't want to take the time to paint the walls. I wanted them to pay somebody else to paint the walls, I think is what I actually wanted them to do, but that never happened either. Yeah, so I've just never really been the super colorful roomed wall people. I love it. Like, I think in The Sims especially, like when people can do it well, they do it amazingly. I'm just terrible when it comes to matching colors, so I find it super hard to do that, for me at least. It's one of the things I'm hoping I'm going to get better at throughout the, you know, because before I started YouTube and streaming, I wasn't much of a builder. Well, that's not true. I guess kind of what got me into starting YouTube and streaming was that I was getting into start being a builder in The Sims, and I was starting to actually make houses that I was like, oh, that actually looks good. Because like before in The Sims, I'd make houses, but then I'd be like, oh, that house is awful. Like, I don't want to share that with anybody. But now I'm like, you know what? That's actually a nice house. And I think that could get some downloads on the gallery, which they generally do. Like I do, you know, like I said, I'm almost to 1,000. If not, I think I actually might have already passed 1,000 downloads, which is, I'm amazed with. I never thought in The Sims ever that I would have been this good of a builder. Even, and it sounds weird to say, I like maybe toot my own horn a little too much. But yeah, if you look at some of my older builds, I think some that are even still on the gallery, like go to my oldest build on the gallery right now, it's awful compared to what I build right now. So like look at the progress and then be like, oh, you know what? He's right. It makes sense. He should be proud of what he's done because this is terrible versus, you know what, these are actually pretty nice. I do think we put that cabinet back. Yeah, we do. Because I actually really love this cabinet. I think it looks like a straight from IKEA. And I've been to IKEA, but I've never like bought anything from IKEA. Again, I think because of laziness, I don't want to put it together. But I like the style that IKEA has. Like, it's very minimal and modern. That's definitely my style of what I like, just not what I generally have. It's kind of how it works. And I think it's because, you know, I just graduated college and getting a job. I mean, IKEA, you know, I feel like sometimes it's like billed as like being cheap, but it's not that cheap, like compared to what you could get if you just go used. Like, I guess for new furniture, it's cheap, but like new furniture is never cheap. Like, that's just the end. So I've never had new furniture. I think my bed right now is the newest furniture I've ever had since I moved out of my house. I've always gone used just because I've always been a broke college kid who's needed used furniture. Except beds. I guess I've always had beds that are not used. Just because I think it's kind of, you know, if you have to, definitely if you have to, do it. But I think the bed is the one thing I've always at least kind of not cheaped out on, has been the bed. Also, I guess that's just my personal style. I think it's more of a comfort thing, less of like a, well, there is an aspect of kind of being a slight germaphobe that I don't want to use somebody else's bed. And especially people you don't know. Like if I knew the person, I'd probably be more inclined to using the bed. But I've also only ever had like the beds that I've had since I've moved out, essentially. And then the one when I moved to Seattle is now the bed that I'm at now, which is, again, the newest furniture I've ever had. Bought straight off Amazon, which is ironic because I live in Seattle. Anyways, back to the build. Don't know where that tangent went, but that's what happens on this channel. When I record, my brain just starts thinking and I just start letting it go. I let it talk. I have no filter. Well, I have a slight filter, but I don't have a filter to filter out random thoughts, I guess. I don't have a random thoughts filter. Yeah, so I actually really liked how the kitchen turned out, like in this version with a black brick and then kind of these cabinets being a little bit different of a tan. Because I was using, you probably saw it, or well, you did see it, was using the orange cabinets here, but I was like, you know what, that's just too much of that orangey tone because the floor is kind of orange too. I didn't really want to do that. So, and I also thought, you know, we really are using 3 different wallpapers here in this, like in this area. We have the living room wallpaper, we have the, which you can't really see because it's behind windows, but you can kind of tell it's there. And then we have that white wallpaper, and then we have this brick wallpaper. So I thought that's pretty good. Now, the white wallpaper is definitely like on my thing. I always do that, like we always talked about it earlier. I'm not big into colors. I want to be. I really do want to be, and that's. I think I'm gonna try like forcing myself to use colors more. I said that a lot. Like I said that on a stream when I built houses, and we just end up not doing it. I don't know. I don't know if we will, but I would love to see myself start using more colors. Like I feel like who does it really well? Well, Deligracy, I think first that comes to mind when she builds and does things really well, is she uses a lot of colors really nicely. But another thing she does is, which was kind of not the theme, but the idea for this house was, you move into something. Really, when she does Rags to Riches, like she moves in and then to like a house or a set structure, and then she expands really creatively that I would never do because I'm too afraid of, I guess, of doing like that creative expansion like that she does. So I want to start doing more of those type of things too, which is why I probably will do with this specific house when I move Layla Organic, my stream LP, or not my stream LP, my YouTube LP, Let's Go Green series LP sim into this house. I'll probably, you know, when she earns up some money, I'll probably do some expanding to this house and add a couple things to make it look a little different from what you've seen right now as it is. And then, so like I said, of these 2 little landscaped areas, this one is not my favorite. It's still good. It's still good, but it's just not my favorite. I like the other one a lot. It looks so full and a lot of different things are in it. This one is not as full. I mean, it's full physically, but it doesn't have like a lot of, you know, the little grass to kind of pop up in between the bushes and make it look full, except right in this area where I purposely did it to make it look like I was lying the whole time in this video. No, but like I said, in the other one, you can kind of see there was little grasses bits popped up in different places that aren't as prevalent, I should say, in this one. Or maybe they are. Maybe I did go back and do it. Anyways, I still like the other one better. And that is where we're coming to the end of this video. We're going to put some wind turbines here, and that is the end of this video. So go check the build out in my gallery. And as always, guys, fly high today.
Posting pictures on the gram so other people know that we're more than friends. Ever since you came around, I've never been sober, always in my head. Met you at a time when I was so